then there's no elevation of esophageal cancer. I don't think it's really of any benefit to eat only fermented foods. Well, first of all, I mean, in many places, especially historically, in the wintertime, that has been the fresh vegetables that people have had available to them. But I think, you know, in our time, where, you know, even in the context of, you know, revival of local agriculture in a, you know, temperate place like this that has a limited growing season, you know, we have cool houses now. You know, there's ways that people can have, you know, some fresh vegetables, you know, and fermented vegetables, really all year round. Now, in terms of Ayurveda, it's interesting because, you know, I have heard this idea that Ayurvedic medicine sort of has a bias against fermented foods. But, you know, what I've learned is that there's a whole branch of Ayurvedic medicine where they make medicinal preparations out of different kinds of plants, where the plants are fermented. Like that's integral to making the medicine, because they understand that the fermentation transforms the, you know, medicinal actions of different plants and phytochemicals just through the fact that they're fermented. So I mean, Ayurveda is not you know, unilaterally opposed to fermented vegetables, to fermentation. But, you know, I mean, moderation is a really good thing for, you know, for any of us to keep in mind. You know, I mean, alcoholic beverages are beloved, but it's really important to, you know, enjoy them, you know, with a sense of moderation. You know, same with fermented vegetables, fermented soybeans, and really anything.
I have a question about
That's fine.
So I have figured like kimchi and sauerkraut, but I find that it's a heavier proposition in terms of cucumbers or so I'm just wondering if you have some tricks that.
Yeah, sure. So cucumbers are pretty much the most challenging vegetable to ferment. And one reason is that they're so watery. Another reason is that the time when they're ripe is the time when temperatures are highest. You know, the best vegetables for preservation are vegetables that ripen when it's cool. Cucumbers ripen when it's hot. The best method that I've used for keeping, and really the issue is that they get mushy. Okay, so it's not that they like get toxic or taste horrible. It's that they lose their nice crunchiness and get really mushy. And so, okay, I mean, the basic, you know, basic sort of, you know, conceptual idea is that, you know, all living things contain the enzymes to digest themselves. And so, you know, vegetables all contain enzymes that, you know, digest the vegetables in different ways. So, so there are these pectinase enzymes that exist in vegetables that digest the pectins. And so when cucumbers get really mushy, it's really because of the pectinase enzymes. I mean, one solution is to find a cool fermentation spot. So, like, you know, an unheated cellar is kind of ideal. Okay. Yeah, I mean, grape. So there are all these tannin-rich leaves seem to inhibit these enzymes. So grape leaves, oak leaves, sour cherry leaves. I've also used tea bags when I couldn't find any of those things. But you know, those are techniques for keeping the cucumbers crunchier for longer. When I make cucumber pickles in the summertime, I mean, I typically in Tennessee heat where it's, you know, generally, you know, 95 degrees every afternoon when the cucumbers are ripe. I ferment them for just 2 or 3 days, and then I move them to the refrigerator. You know, so it's not, you know, whereas when I make you know, sauerkraut from cabbage or from radishes in you know, in November, you know, I'm still eating that. I'll be eating that up until, you know, June or July, and you know, it's got a perfectly wonderful texture. So, you know, it's really like a short fermentation time with these tannin-rich leaves, and then getting them into a cool spot. But really short fermentation time compared to anything else.
And what's the ideal temperature range for long-term storage?
I would say, you know, earth temperature, 55 degrees, 55 to 60 degrees.
So there are a lot of sort of industrially produced fermented foods. When you go to the Green Star and you see the kombucha that's sold all across the country. I don't personally think it's as good as the homemade stuff. I'm curious if there's a trade-off between ramping up production and maintaining the cultural integrity of the products.
Well, that is a great question. Okay, so some of you probably remember that maybe a year and a half ago there was a big sort of scare about kombucha, and it was removed from the shelves of a lot of stores, most notably Whole Foods, and that was because you know, I guess it was the FDA sampled some bottles and found alcohol levels that were above 0.5%, which is the cutoff for foods or beverages to be marketed not as alcoholic beverages. And so actually many people who are producing kombucha stopped using the sort of traditional culture for making kombucha, which is kombucha, kefir, and a couple of other ferments are really notable for their cultures because their cultures have evolved into really distinctive physical forms. So if any of you have ever seen a mother of kombucha, it's this like rubbery disc that floats at the top of the sweet tea that it's fermenting. It begins as just a thin film, but it gets thicker and thicker, and I mean I've seen them this thick, floating on top of the sweet tea. So and that's it, and it's a community of organisms. It's called a SCOBY in the literature, SCOBY, symbiotic community of bacteria and yeast. And so this is what defines kombucha. Another SCOBY is kefir. Looks like a little florets of cauliflower, and they're called kefir grains or sometimes kefir curds. And similarly, it's a community of organisms. The kefir community has been much studied. Rick Margulis identified more than 30 distinct microorganisms that are present in the kefir community. But sometimes these SCOBYs are challenging for commercial production because it's very difficult to standardize. So you will not find a commercial kefir for sale in the United States that I think is worthy of being called kefir because they're not made with the SCOBY, which is what has historically defined this food. Instead, some microbiologists looked under the microscope and sort of pulled off a few of the organisms that are present in kefir, and so now